Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gamers Side Quest podcast, wherever you may be, however you may be winning.
Winning?
We're winning like Charlie Sheen today, y'all.
Bro, you're the opposite. You're the opposite of T-Pain. All you do is lose.
What? Dude, today was a great day. Don't shit on it already for me.
What did you do?
But thanks, everybody, for joining up. I'm going to introduce our co-hosts, and then we can continue to rag on me. We've got our buddy, Eric Balrose, and we've got Cody Hack Attack, and myself, UFC Wildcat. Thank you so much for stopping by. How was y'all's guys' week leading up to the podcast?
You didn't answer my question.
I'm ignoring that because it hurts my feelings.
What did you do today?
What I did today was I got a PB in Super Mario 64 on the 16-star speed run, and I did it while walking on this treadmill, and that was cool.
How? So you got a Reese's cup while walking on a treadmill in Super Mario 64.
I told you before, I don't like peanut butter.
All right, well, I'm just out.
Why I don't understand. When are you going to learn to tell the people, all the millions and millions and millions of Wildcat fans, that you use a Game Shark to set these fake scores?
Dude, I don't. I mean, that
treadmill probably gives you an unfair
I've got my
advantage.
System right over there, and it
probably gives you an unfair advantage, the treadmill.
I think if anything, it's the other way around. He's at an unfair disadvantage while on the treadmill.
I don't know. Like Peloton, my hopes and dreams have probably been sucked up into the bottom of that treadmill a couple times already. So,
is yours a treadmill or an elliptical?
What are you talking about?
He's got a bike.
Peloton.
I have a bike.
Oh, you got a bike?
But Peloton's in trouble right now because a kid died and a couple pets that got sucked up into their treadmills underneath them.
Oh, no. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen that. That's weird.
That's the reference I'm making.
Weird.
Yeah, didn't Peloton already have a different problem with their treadmills?
I don't know. I'm not interested in buying a $5,000 treadmill.
Well, how much did you pay for your bike?
$2,000. But this is the thing. I don't like. Does running on a treadmill and having a screen in front of you where someone screams at you sound appealing to you?
Neither does being on a bike to me. So, like, you're not going to sell me on either or.
I really like the bike. It's like perfect.
Do you think it's easier than running on a treadmill? Because
yes,
I know,
100%.
Eric, you like an elliptical.
Biking is 100% easier than a treadmill. Biking's easiest for the 3 by far.
Is it? Okay.
Well, wait a minute.
For everybody, yes.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know if biking's necessarily easier than elliptical.
Yeah, biking's easiest for the 3.
In what sense?
In every sense. There's a reason that you have to go faster on a bike than you do an elliptical to burn the same amount of calories.
Yeah, but you also can use your arms on an elliptical to cheat.
You don't have to use your arms on the elliptical to cheat.
Then why is
it doesn't increase your distance ran either?
So why don't all major athletes use all ellipticals then if they're better?
Because it's up to each individual person, man. Like, even between ellipticals, there's 100 different variations of the elliptical itself.
I think it's a bold statement to say all ellipticals are better than all bikes.
Dude, for burning calories, yes. To burn the same amount of calories on a bike as you do an elliptical, you have to travel faster.
But what I'm saying is if I go get on just a regular elliptical at the gym, right? Yeah, you can do a great job. But if you just go get on a regular bike at the gym, you can do a great job too. To say that you can't do that one's easier than the other is just false.
In terms of going from point A to point B distance-wise, a bike is the easiest.
Not if it's uphill.
You can go uphill on an elliptical.
You can, but that doesn't make it easier.
Okay, so what's your average speed on your bike?
I don't know. Today
when you're going 30 minutes, what's your average speed on your bike?
Today in my 45-minute ride, my average was 19 miles an hour.
Okay, can you go 19 miles an hour on an elliptical?
No.
The answer is no.
No.
Because it requires more effort to go the same speed on an elliptical.
Okay.
That's why it's easier for a bike.
That doesn't make it easy. That doesn't, the sense that I'm saying it doesn't make it easier.
Yes, it does. It's literally the definition.
No. I've gotten way better.
I have to put in less effort to go the same distance. It's harder.
No. Because if we're just measuring distance, that's not measuring ease.
It's the effort to go that distance.
A bike naturally is going to go farther and faster than you walking.
That's why it's easier.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. That's not
I can tell you I can tell you this right now, that if I hopped on a bike and I did 19 miles an hour, my heart rate is nowhere near the same as it would be if I tried to do 19 miles an hour on an elliptical. You can't do it.
So what you're actually saying is that a bike is more efficient.
It's not just more efficient, it's easier.
It's more efficient. I can do more, go farther, and burn more calories.
If I have 600 calories to burn.
Okay, so did you do an elliptical workout today?
I did.
How many calories did you burn on your elliptical workout?
Probably like 440 minutes, maybe.
So in 40 minutes, you did 440.
It depends on the day, really.
Okay, well, and to be fair, that
I'm sorry, I burned 427 in 43 minutes.
Yeah, caloric intake is very dependent on the person, so it's not a fair judgment, right? We can't just go tit for tat on this.
No, caloric intake is not dependent on the person. You can take 10 people and have their caloric intake be the same.
That's true, as long as the heart rate and everything's been being monitored and all that.
No, you don't need any of that. I can do 1,000 calories across 10 people, and as long as they don't cheat on it, it's 1,000 caloric intake.
No, because if your heart rate, people burn calories different.
Caloric intake.
I'm saying how much calories you burn during the activity.
Okay, that's
is
not
different.
Caloric intake.
That's the difference between two people. Is what I'm saying. I was like, I can't directly compare my caloric burn to your caloric burn on.
Okay, caloric burn and caloric intake are two different words.
Like it's. I'm sorry, I used the wrong word, Eric.
Caloric burning is not different between. It is calculated by heart rate. So if you have two people who they have the exact same heart rate for the exact same amount of time, they're going to burn the same amount of calories.
Oh, that's like finding two perfect human beings, because everyone's going to have a different cardio ability.
I mean, those people do exist.
So like today, I finally found my workout.
Listen, you got your knees, and I get it. You sit on them all day.
Coming from the guy who's got bad hips.
I mean,
I don't know about your bad hip. Talk about my bad knee. Mr. fucking 80-year-old over here got a leaky hip. Got to put some oil in it. But what I was saying was, I did a 45-minute ride today as well, and over the course of it, my average speed was actually 19 miles an hour, and I did 624 calories.
Okay, what was your heart rate the entire time?
My average BPM was, where is it? BPM. My average BPM was 157.
Okay, mine was 144.
Yeah.
I wasn't going for a speed run though, or anything. Yeah, I said
this was a personal best today.
Yeah, so like I could do a personal best in 45 minutes. My heart rate won't be 144. It'll be 174.
Let me just kick Ryan from this call because he's not contributing anything.
I let y'all ride. I sat there. I listened to y'all. It was sick.
I'll reiterate. Don't you shit on my Peloton.
I like treadmills.
Oh, apparently I'm not completely sold on the whole Peloton soup. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a super fan. I just think they make the best bike. They make the best exercise bike.
Probably.
Fight me in the comments if you. I mean, the difference was when I went to look for one. Right, I went to the store and wrote them all because we have a place here who has them all, and I found that I could get a NordicTrack for cheaper, but if I went on Facebook, I could get a NordicTrack for like $700 because people buy them and they're like, this thing fucking sucks.
I mean, people do that with all exercise equipment.
Like that's the telling sign to me.
If you want to buy exercise equipment, now is the right time because the New Year's resolution is to finally give it up and they're selling it.
Yeah, like the
difference is... You know what's the best thing?
Go ahead.
The best investment? Those things.
Weights.
Adjustable weights. The fact that it's only that little space, I can move these around wherever I want. Mm-hmm. Easy.
What I'm
already done with mine. Like Alex got mine at this point.
Too low?
No, I have a gym now.
Yeah, he's moving back to the gym. He doesn't need his garage anymore. But what I was saying is, if you want to tell my personal opinion was, if you want to tell if exercise equipment is good, just go check marketplaces and see if the new exercise equipment that's in stores right now is for sale on there. Because I promise you, what you won't find. Go look for exercise bikes and tell me how many Pelotons you find on Facebook Marketplace. But there'll be a bunch of Norditracks. There'll be a bunch of Echelons. There'll be a bunch of really cheap bikes. To be fair,
like those are all cheaper. Like that. That's
the Norditrack costs the same. That's the thing. It's the same cost. $2,400.
I think anybody who spends $2,400 on a bike is out of their damn mind.
I really like my Peloton.
Really but I mean, like, you also do one exercise and you're happy with that. So, like, if that's your deal, that's your deal.
It's my form of cardio.
I will let you know. I looked for Peloton. I literally typed in Peloton bike, and I only saw 2 bikes. A lot of accessories, but only 2 bikes.
It's telling you. But there's a rumor that they're going to come out with an elliptical and a rowing machine this week, or this month. Not this month. Sorry, not this week. This year.
Aren't they also subscription based?
Yes, they are subscription based.
Yeah, I'm out. What are they, $10 a month?
Subscription based, and your shit doesn't work if you don't subscribe?
No, it still works. It still works. You just can't take the classes.
Ah, okay.
But the whole premise behind it, the main appeal of them is the classes. That's what you're paying into.
Yeah.
No.
I like the classes because I like the leaderboards and I like competing against people. I don't want to compete against myself.
You don't like being the worst of just one. You like being the worst of just 5,000.
What the hell? What are you talking about? I was in the top 30% of all people who took a class today.
I like the idea.
Excuse me while I go check the 3 people who took a class today.
I'll have you know, I directly competed against 12. Like directly, and then it gives you the entire leaderboard of everybody who's taken the class.
I think football messed me up mentally to where I don't feel like I can properly do a workout by myself to construct a workout and be like, I did good. Like, I have to watch a video. I have to have somebody walk me through it.
Well, you don't want to do it with your friends either. I've offered, I don't know how many times.
Oh, shit.
You've offered during fucking COVID and shit, and
I've offered since like the day after we met.
Cringe.
Sounds like an excuse train. I'm here to come to the station right now.
It sounds like I have no proof. Inaccurate. Wrong.
But like, I'll say that. This will be my last thing I say about it. The thing I really like about it, and a lot of people shit on the subscription and all that. But today, when I was working out, there was someone above me, right? And so they had a higher output than me, and I was like, I'm gonna catch you, and I caught them. And then as I passed them, I saw the next person. I'm like, I'm going to catch your ass too. And you can see you coming up the leaderboard behind them. And then all of a sudden they start outputting more. And I have to output more. And you just do this.
You bet he can't do that on a PT test run.
Shit, bro, first of all.
There's no way, man. No way.
Why you got to get personal like that? Why can't you just be happy that someone is finding some physical fitness that they enjoy?
I'm happy for you.
It's not my physical fitness. Eric has told me that he's very happy that at least our faction of friends are getting healthy.
Yeah, right. I just don't think you should check it daily.
No, I do.
I'm very much against it. Like there's no point in checking it daily. I'm not even a fan of checking it weekly, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Dude, weight's a number, man.
That's what I said, and I think it's funny, but like if I show, it's not gonna fucking show. I posted it on Twitter.
None of our cameras are good enough to look at a phone. Yeah.
Literally, I started at 270. Today I weighed in at 248. And that's in a month, and I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. It's funny though, because like in the last week, it literally, basically you see me continually going down, a few ups, but mostly down.
To do this.
And you're like, oh, that's shit. And I'm like, that's the water weight, which you lose early, and everybody's like, oh, I'm doing great. But then they hit where I'm at, where literally it's like, what was this? I was at 252, bounced all the way up to 255. The next day I was down to...
Dude, the difference of 5 pounds is nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it literally is like up, down, up, down, up, down. And literally, I've done this like 5 times now. And I've had that point where I'm like, dude, I'm just like, I'm going back up. I'm not doing it. And I quit. But I'm at this point where I've done it. I'm like, yeah, I know. It just literally, you're on the roller coaster ride of bobbing down. But if you just look at like, it's like a scatter plot. You take your line and you see the line of regressions going down. You're like, sick. That's what I want to see. And I masochistically like to take every day just so that I see that number going down. And if it goes up, I'm like, well, shit, geez, I ate dinner late or something, whatever.
Someone once told me, I don't know if it's true or not, but they said if you just cut sugar out of your diet, you'll lose like 30 pounds.
Yep.
Like,
that's
it.
I don't think you'll lose 30. You'll lose a percentage.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how factually true it is, but
I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, like, the fresher you eat, the better off you are in the long run. But everything about the world we live in is designed to go against that.
So you're saying eat Chipotle?
I could cut probably 5 pounds pretty easily if I ate fresh versus eating the processed protein food I have now, just because I would cut all the sodium and water weight that comes with it.
Yeah.
Like, I weigh myself before and after a workout. It's like a 3 to 4 pound difference. And because I basically sweat a bucket during the workout, and that's because I retain a shit ton of water.
Ryan, weigh yourself after a good poop next time.
Every morning I wake up, the dogs go potty, I go potty, and then I weigh myself.
It's like you said, like trying to find two identical athletes with the same weight and same heart rate. Like an individual, even if they weighed themselves at the same exact time every day, it's gonna fluctuate unless you literally Groundhog Day yourself.
Yeah, you're like, I have to eat at 10 o'clock. I must poop at 11 o'clock. I must weigh myself at 11:02.
It's not that. It's every single facet, because like your stress levels will affect your weight.
How much you slept. How much water you drank.
Yes. Whether Taurus is in egress.
I mean, like, if you want to do it daily, you can. I just wouldn't look at it daily.
Oh, I just
do it daily and then look at it like once every 2 weeks or something.
Well, like I said, I weigh myself daily. I look at the number I'm like, okay, cool. If it's a number I don't like, in both instances, I'm like, or if it's a number I don't like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Both instances, I look at the number for like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, cool, go.
On a topic that's different than fitness, I did something big today, boys.
Fitness pizza in my mouth, woo woo.
Daddy Musk let me down, so I sold my Doge.
Did you sell the Doge? Where'd you sell it at?
I sold my Doge. I sold the holdings I had on Robinhood.
Mm-hmm.
I just got out of it.
I think it was something that where is that? Because I was debating. I told my brother, because we were talking about it, and I said if it ever hit like 40, 39-ish, I would probably look to buy in. Because I mean, like, it did the same thing on the 420 day where it completely tanked, but then it hit 69. Right now it's sitting at like, it's sitting at like 46. Like, that's like 10 for me.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I mean. I sold, like I made,
yeah.
because I bought in at like 17 or something like that. So I made a couple $100.
My brother at one point was up like 20K.
Should have sold. Should have sold.
Well, he's riding to $1. He thinks it's going to go to $1, and anything, if he loses it, he doesn't give a shit. He's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, like if you get the disposable income for it, yeah, but
exactly.
I just looked at it like, what I did is I turned around and just bought Bitcoin with it. I took the same money and bought Bitcoin. Well,
did you not buy I think Ethereum would have been better, but isn't that a hassle to buy?
Yeah, well, the problem with Ethereum is the charges to trade it. Like, it's got really high cost to, like, when you sell it and when you buy it, there's a really big service charge on it.
Yeah.
So I just haven't gotten into Ethereum, but I was like, right now Bitcoin's at a stupid high price, right? But it was a couple $100. Sink it into it. If it goes down, it goes down. It'll probably come back up. No one ever thought it'd be at $57,000.
It feels something like the Dow Jones and the NASQ, is that what it is, or whatever? Like your basic stocks that are just continually gaining value, and it's like if you throw money in there, it's just gonna.
Yeah. What did you do today, Eric?
A lot of work. Because fucking HP doesn't know how to release stuff without it breaking.
Yeah. Sounds about right. That sounds like a no tell though, but I mean,
like technology is just getting to the point where it's starting to get overly complicated for very little reason. Like HP's new dock has a feature in it that if you dive way deep into the driver, you can set it to like randomly go into sleep mode, which it does by default. And I don't know if you know this, but if you're connected to a network, your Ethernet driver going into sleep is a bad idea. And it's a default option. So
I like it. It's your default, so get fucked.
The worst part is that like it took 2 days to troubleshoot because the network adapter itself doesn't tell you anything. It's like, nah, dog, I still got an IP. I can not do anything with it, but I got an IP and I still got link lights. And your event log doesn't say anything. Like we just happened to randomly catch it. And then read a Reddit thread of over 100 comments later and find out that it's a problem with the driver for that Ethernet port on the dock. And that every new release of that driver has had the exact same problem.
So it doesn't sound like a problem. It sounds like a feature.
No. Well, I mean, it is a feature that you have to turn off, but you have to turn it off each time you reload the driver. I don't know if you know this, but if you have like thousands of devices, it becomes a real pain in the ass.
Yeah. That's stupid.
Yeah, and if it's not that, I mean, like, the problem that I have with laptops now is that laptops are getting to a point where, like, the cost is the same. The internals get slightly better each year, but the features that consumers actually use don't get better. Like, laptop microphones are still shitty. Laptop speakers are still terrible. Yep. Laptop video cameras are still coming in at 720p. Like, yeah. Those are all parts that take probably cents on the dollar for a company to make better. And for some reason, nobody wants to do it. Everybody's fine with those video conferencing calls looking like they're from 1997.
Yeah, this feels like the year after what we've dealt with that I would be like oh shit, well, that's clearly important shit. Let's get that up. But
I mean, I think the problem is that the market hasn't asked for it, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know how you say the market hasn't asked for it, because this is the year that the market did ask for it.
Because both me and you know that if you're going to do a telecom situation, there's companies dedicated to just that. And they don't use webcams. They use like full on cameras.
I mean, in my customer base of 4,000, I have one of those.
What the going on with my computer?
And in my installations customer base of 30,000, there's like 4 of them. So, I mean, like, yes, there are those systems that exist, but people don't buy them for their homes. And COVID sent everybody home. I
mean, yes, I agree with you. It's just that I think that's why big business hasn't really adopted it yet.
Yeah.
And HP sells way more laptops to General Motors than they do to the 3 of us.
I mean, those businesses don't adopt those big types of conferencing stuff to begin with. Not only that, but most of those are still shitty too. Like, I mean, we got a Polycom that's like $500 and it's barely 1080p. It's not even 4K.
I know, they do suck.
Like, there's no excuse for it. My iPhone has a 4K camera on and the back, so it's not hard to design. It's not expensive either.
You're not wrong.
Do you think it's a matter of it's kind of the same way that companies like to build in obsolete?
Companies just want to cut corners. Like, that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, exactly what it is.
I mean, that kind of leads into the other discussion about difficulty in games, and like yes, difficulty sliders do feel lazy, but like, how else are you going to do it to make everybody happy?
Yeah. So with that, let's transition to that. That sounds like Eric is,
he's what? Transition daddy.
He's taken my job, and that's fine.
He'll make you flip. He'll make you switch positions even when you don't want to.
I mean,
Why they call
I don't even have a
transition
line showing where the priority of this podcast is on my wall, so I think I am still ahead of you.
You didn't do the arm thing. You got to do the arm thing. You got to make yourself cool with the kids.
Is it this shit?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I don't
They
get
do
it.
this in Sheesh? No. No, it's
Yeah,
Freezy
what?
Face. Freezy Face is what you do with Sheesh.
God, just
Dude,
bury me
Eric, come
now.
on, man. Eric,
Like-
don't do me like this.
Okay, the people who work for me do that shit. I'll
Do
hear
they?
them in the other room. Sheesh! I'm like, what are you doing?
The big thing is I watched a streamer YouTuber who literally was like, what the fuck are you guys saying? And then looked up a video of it and then was making fun of it, but now it's like ingrained in his shit. And that just happened to me too. And that's stupid. And then now I'm just like, sheesh. All the time.
I'm not even 35, and I feel like the old dude on the porch just being like, "Get the fuck away from me, please."
Just fuck. But let's
Like
move into
every
that
time I
news.
hear a new phrasing, I'm just like, "That's stupid." That's not what the word means in the dictionary, but okay.
But sure. But yeah, with that, let's move on to our next discussion. What we ready to talk about some difficulty in games
Bro, I'm ready.
and how to properly assess it?
I mean, like here's my opinion on this, because this really stems basically from software, right?
Before you start, I'll explain it like overhead. The topic we want to discuss is, should games look to accommodate more people in their difficulty settings? In one spectrum, you have stuff like From Software, Dark Souls, Demons. It's like Demon Souls, Dark Souls. I don't know what they call the genre, but very difficult games that are very hard to beat. There's no difficulty slider. You just have to get good. And then on the other spectrum, your games like a Pokemon, where the game is snoozeville easy for the story mode, and a lot of people who are more adept at gaming are like, why the fuck would I waste my time on something that's so easy to play? I don't get enjoyment out of it. So with that, again, let's have Eric jump into it with his ideas that he's got on it.
So, I mean, the answer to me is no. You know, there are hundreds of games that come out every year, so there's already a lot of different flavors for everybody. And as it is, games have to meet a deadline before they're released. What video game company in the last 10 years hasn't had some sort of crunch as it is? And really, like, games being too easy makes it accessible for everybody. I kind of get that. Like, I'm not one of those people who's going to play a Pokemon and Nuzlocke because I want to make the game harder for me. That's not how it's designed. And if I have to play a game to make it harder for me specifically, I'm already not interested. Like, no offense to Mario. You know, I know that there's ways to make Mario harder. I know that, like, you know, there's speed running and there's like perfect jumps, and some of the objectives are harder. It's just not my thing. As far as, like, I mean, it's basically one company. It's From Software. And it's not even just one company. Like, I mean, there are a couple of other companies that are starting to do it. Bandai started it with Demon Souls. And then From Software had people from Bandai leave to create FromSoft, and they created the Dark Souls games. And then Sekiro, which made Game of the Year, which really sparked a discussion. The Game of the Year was one of those. And here's the thing, like, mechanically, that game's not hard. It really isn't. And its philosophy is all about repetition and mastering a skill. Like, if you watch the interviews for the game, they specifically talk about those two things. And asking them to change their philosophy and to change their vision because, oh no, I can't hit the left button at just the right time, is not the right thing to do. There are hundreds of other games out there. And I would love to sit here and say that, like, the Dark Souls games and Sekiro and now Returnal are like the best stories ever. They're not. They don't have the budget for it. You know, when like we look at games today, and there are people out there who think that. And my counter is, what did you do when the Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1 were a thing? Like when Metroid was out, it didn't have multiple difficulties. It had one. And you saw more of the ending based on speedrunning. You know, Super Mario World didn't have multiple difficulties. Mario 3 on the NES didn't have multiple difficulties. Legend of Zelda #1 didn't have multiple difficulties. So there are companies out there that do that, and if that's part of their vision, it's part of their vision. But when we're asking companies to change their core philosophy or the directors or developers' vision, we're asking them to change their art. And just because we're consumers, we don't have that right. Eric's opinion. If a game's too hard, like especially now, because if a game's too hard and you don't want to deal with the gameplay, you just want the story, go on YouTube and watch it. Hop on a streamer's channel and watch it. Do something, but like, you know, for me, this is the same argument as like, I want the reward, but I don't want to put the work into it. No, too fucking bad. I am the guy on the lawn, by the way. Like, there's no. And I mean, I kind of feel that way because like something like WoW became like that over a decade. Like the in-game rating content that 2% of the players did became too hard, so they had to do multiple difficulties. So instead of learning one fight because I wanted to raid at the high end, I had to learn the same fight 4 different times. That's not fun for me. Because Joe Schmo over there with his Cheetos and his Coke doesn't want to learn the fight the right way the first time. Not only that, but in terms of like something with WoW, I now not only have to learn the fight 4 different times, I'm expected to do all the other things to raid at that level because other people can't do it. And like, that's why I quit this last time around. The time investment was just too much. Oh no, I didn't do my 5 dungeons to get my chest reward, so I can't, you know, my group won't invite me to go fight the hardest boss, which is what I want to do. All right, well, I'm going to go play my single player games now.
Yeah. What about you, Hack? What's your opinion on the matter?
What, on difficulty in games?
Mm-hmm.
I think the game should give you the option.
I mean, the thing is that like 95% plus do. The complaint isn't about those 95%. It's about the remaining 5.
Like Dark Souls and those games aren't for me anyway, right? I don't necessarily enjoy games that are just difficult to be difficult. So I don't have a dog in this fight because I'm not going to play Dark Souls either way. Even if it was easier, I'm not going to play it.
I mean, like, and that's the other thing. Like, I would love to say that something like Dark Souls is mechanically difficult, but people have beat the game using fucking frying pans. Like, It's not a mechanically difficult game. It just punishes mistakes.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not.
It's literally about repetition.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get into it because I don't enjoy those type of games. It's just my thing. But as far as difficulty in all gaming is concerned, in all games, I would say that I want there to be a choice. Like I like it when games give me, if it's a sandbox game, give me creative mode. That way I don't have to download cheats to do something ridiculous, right? I'll still play the game and still play all that stuff, but give me the option to just mess around when I want to mess around. Like stop treating it like it's this closed world thing and just let me play the game. And when I want to go just be stupid, let me go be stupid. Right?
Well, and modding's completely different based on console versus PC to begin with.
Yeah. But like, if it has to do with, if I just care about the story, right? I don't care about the gameplay necessarily. Then I really just want it to, sorry, I had Facebook up. I just really want to play the game, and I don't want it to be overly difficult. But if you're searching for difficulty and you're searching for a sense of accomplishment, then you need to have difficulty with it.
Yeah, and like, and I agree with that. Like, if you're gonna play games for the sake of story, like the company that does this, FromSoft, their games aren't like they're fine stories. They're not good.
Yeah. Like
Sekiro won in a very down year for video gaming. Yeah, Cyberpunk could have came out bugged and it would have won that year.
Yeah, like me and Eric used to play Ninja Gaiden, right? Which is considered a difficult game, but not overly like super hard, right? And I don't know why, I just enjoyed that game. There's something about that game I enjoyed. Whereas I've tried to play Dark Souls and I don't like Dark Souls. So I think it depends on what you want to get out of a game, but I don't necessarily go for difficult games.
So at least from my perspective, I'm glad you took the other way where your difficulty, because honestly, I'm generally the same as Eric, where I think, it's a game designer's vision to have a game one way. When you look at the From Software people, asking them to make the game accessible for everybody kind of, defeats the purpose. It's kind of like I've said before, like I understand there are people who physically can't play the game and I feel for them. But then that's where I turn to, like Eric said, go watch somebody else enjoy that experience and live vicariously through them.
Yeah.
But I also I have sympathy for their plight, and that it would be great if there was something for that. But like expecting the developer to bend over backwards for everybody, that is kind of not where I land. Same thing for like your Pokemon and stuff. Like I would love Pokemon to be, I would kill for Pokemon to have difficulty in whether it's just like programming the AI to be smarter, programming a bit more levels, gym leaders to have better fucking Pokemon instead of just be like, well, I've got a Geodude and an Onix and I'm 7th gym leader. And it's like, fuck me, man. I don't give a fuck about you. You're nothing. I feel no accomplishment. I would love it to be more difficult, but that's not the vision that the Pokemon company has. And that's where that's where I enjoy stuff like a Nuzlocke, stuff like a speed running, because I can enjoy these games in a different aspect. If I want that, I can make that. It's not my go-to. It's not like buying this game so I can go Nuzlocke it later. I'm more so like if I ever wanted to do that.
Hey Ryan, before you continue, can you
Yep.
can you do me a favor? Can you move your mic a little closer? You're cutting in and out.
Am I?
I think your noise gate is going in and out on you.
Roughing with me. Okay.
Yeah, because like you're talking and then you talk quieter and you just cut off.
Well, and
sharply.
like Pokemon specifically, because that is one that gets picked on a lot. Pokemon's target age is kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Pokemon had a mature rated game, I'm pretty sure it would not be anywhere near as easy.
Bro, Mario when I was a kid was hard.
Yeah.
Well, games
Like it
back
was.
then were much harder than they are now.
Like there's
Like-
a reason Game Shark came around and gave you infinite lives.
Well, and what I'm saying is that like not just like the game itself has changed, the technology behind it has changed. Controllers are much more like if you go back on a Nintendo controller now and try and play a game, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
If you look at a Nintendo game now at 30 frames per second after playing 120 frames per second for a week, it's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were a lot of limitations back then that just don't exist now.
Yeah.
What if what if a company came out with a game where if you lose it, just deleted it off your computer?
I mean,
One playthrough.
It's funny that you mention it, but in most of Yoko Taro's games, to get the true ending, you have to agree to delete your save data.
Well, wait, I think if I remember correctly, because the same guy that I watched that did the Sheesh shit loves to do Hitman, and sometimes they have special events where there is a limited release thing that you can buy, and it's a mission that you have to do. And the minute you kill somebody or the target, whether you win or not, whatever your ranking is, that's what it is, and you can play it again. I'm pretty sure Hitman does that.
It might. I've never really played a Hitman game.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on it, but that's something.
I'm not really sure I want to play Jerry Rig everything as a character.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, like I said, I
think
like games that are difficult to be like. I think it all depends on what difficulty you mean. Like I like games that are puzzly difficult, right, or make you solve a problem difficult. But I don't necessarily want to learn XBA left, right, up, down, blah, 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 blah to do one move.
I mean,
like
even the games that we're talking about, it's not that. It's literally, it's like learn this attack pattern, dodge this attack pattern, get your hit in. Okay, now do that X number of times. X being anywhere from 50 to 150.
Mm-hmm. I know. Well, I'm using it in a ridiculous example.
I mean, you are talking about like a fighting game, like that makes plenty of sense. Like you do have to learn those type of combos, but fighting games have a pretty wide range of difficulty.
I want to walk up and be able to hit A and do my fatality.
I mean, you don't want to just sweep the leg like they did in the movie 3 times?
Did you watch it finally?
No, I saw that clip and I was like, okay, well, that's all I needed to see for this movie.
Well, one thing I want to say for the discussion wise, because we talked about it a little, but I want to expound upon it on other aspects. Another great way, if you like the engines of some of the games, is mods, or something I really enjoy are ROM hacks of these games. So for one specifically, there's a YouTuber that I watch, was an old speedrunner. Simple Flips has actually made a website dedicated to Mario 64 ROM hacking. It can take the comp of 64 and basically build a new game, and they can make it difficult, or other words they like to call Kaizo, where it's a very difficult thing. They do that with Super Mario World. There's like the Super Mario Kaizo type stuff. And then on top of that, there's a bunch of Pokemon ROM hacks that basically take the Pokemon engine and make it very, very hard, where you can learn. I know one specifically that I watched from a dude, his name is Pokemon Challenges. It's very interesting to watch him. It's called Emerald Kaizo, where they take the Emerald game and they just super pump everything up, and they give you not the best encounters out the gate. And from there, it's a lot of, you're going in, you're calculating, and you're basically solving that puzzle of like, okay, well, if I send this Pokemon out and I kill them, and then the next Pokemon comes out and does this, well, what's my counter and stuff like that. And that's where you get your really, really difficult and fun ideas of Pokemon from that aspect. So there's a lot of ways that you can have a lot of engines, and, you know, while ROM hacking is something possible and nobody's stepping on any toes, that's something, if you ever want more difficulty from like the Nintendo genre, it's out there on it. But
yeah, and if you're in the PC community, like there's plenty of mods for every game. Like you can probably find a mod for Dark Souls to make enemies do no damage. You're just defeating the purpose of the game at that point. Like,
for sure. Can I ask you a question, Eric? When you watch Ryan talk, is he cutting out for you too?
Every so often.
Yeah. Like when you talk, Ryan, look at the green square around your thing, and like literally, like you'll be talking, it just shuts off and then comes back on.
Your mic needs to come closer.
Yeah, it sounds like you're like your gate, like your noise gate. Your mic's like, oh, he's not talking. Oh, he is talking. Your noise gate's in your software, not on your mic.
No, I know. I was just seeing if I mess with anything. Some people have been saying that recently. So I've been in.
Like it's doing it right now when you're talking.
Like I don't have anything on my noise at the moment.
Did it right there and right there.
Yeah. I can't negative my noise gate.
And I mean, like, if From Software came out tomorrow and said, like, we understand our games are too hard and they made them easier, and every game they made from this point forward was easier, would I complain? No. Would I buy it? Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ryan,
because like
Discord.
Because, like, at the end of the day, that is their niche. That's what they're known for. It's like asking Naughty Dog to not cast Laura Bailey in a role.
It's like Grand Theft Auto not letting you steal cars.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's...
I'm offended because my car was stolen once.
It's like asking Rockstar to make a sandbox game that doesn't have a big-ass open world to it. And then to allow instant and as well to allow instant teleportation within that world, because Rockstar doesn't do that. Like,
they make you drive.
So I'm messing with my stuff right. I was gonna say I'm messing with my stuff right now. Is it better now?
Like I said, I think it's Discord.
It might just be Discord.
I've messed
I can't
with
open my Discord menu because I'm streaming, but I know there's there's something in there that says like detect, like it does the automatic voice control for you or whatever, and I would uncheck that so the mic's just on.
Oh yeah, I have that off, and then I have the automatically determined input, and I've been moving it around. So I'm trying to see if that holds.
Well, just have the automatic on.
Oh, I did, and it wasn't working.
Yeah, the automatic's what I think is causing the problem, because what it does is when it detects not enough noise, it shuts the signal off.
Well, then he just needs to talk. Like his mic's different. Like you guys have the same mic, right? You both have a Yeti.
Yeah, and I put mine right in front of my face.
I mean that's what a Yeti. That's what a Yeti is known for. Like you need to be close to it because it has that noise cancellation.
It's just close enough.
No, it
Oh,
needs
it's
to be
close
your
enough,
mouse.
Daddy.
Sit here like this.
I mean, like, in terms of scaling difficulty, I think sliders are about the only thing that you can do in this current day and age.
Would to make it more difficult to slide it? Like, would you like it a little bit more difficult? or
Well,
more
no,
difficult?
like, the differences between like easy, medium, and hard in a game is just an artificial sliding.
Mm.
I mean, like, you have games like Resident Evil that do that. Like, instead of picking up 7 bullets on the hardest difficulty, you pick up 2, and then enemies are also hard.
Pew 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 pew.
And like on easy, you might have a green herb here, and then on medium, it might not be there, and on hard, it's definitely not there. But I mean, that is its own type of scaling.
Yeah.
I just like part of it for me is that games have been $60 for over a decade, but production costs have skyrocketed. And I would love to say that like games are selling so many more copies now than they have been 10 years ago, and that's partially true. But guess who's not seeing that money? The coders, the artists. They're not. Guess who gets stuck with all the shit work at the end of the day? It's not the CEO, it's not the board, it's not the shareholders, it's those people. And like being dissatisfied with something and telling those people who in a lot of cases put sweat and tears into their game, oh, you didn't include this one function for me, so I don't like it, is like, really, dog?
You didn't recognize that bunnies are people too. Therefore, the bunny killing needs to go away.
I mean, like, it really sucks to talk about Cyberpunk, but I'm going to talk about Cyberpunk. Like, the developers have came on stream talking about the development of the game and how ambitious of a project it was and how it wasn't their vision for it to take this long, but they were crunched into a corner because of marketing and hype, not only from the shareholders, but players.
Mm-hmm.
And the end result is what you got. Nobody's happy about it.
Yeah, nobody's happy.
And it sucks because like the developers themselves want to be like, well, the game's ready when it will be ready, but shareholders don't care about that. They care about money. So if we want better production, we need more people working on the project, which costs more money, which means the consumer's going to have to pay more money.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen when $70 games becomes mainstream? It should already be a thing, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at the resolution increase from 1080p to 4K, like that artist, I don't know how much more time they have to spend on it, but it's not like 10% more. And developers don't get as big of a budget as we think they do. I mean, Nier Automata got $5 million. And there's a reason that game's not graphically impressive for 2017. Like, he wanted his story, he wanted the combat, he wanted the music, and something had to get cut, and it was graphics. Whereas, like, yes, the original Demon's Souls is notoriously the first game of its kind, had a budget of $25 million, and that was in like 2009, 2010.
Yeah. Overall, it's just really tough because, like, the one thing that people want, they always look over. They want to attack the company and obviously go to people like your coders and your graphic designers when they're putting their heart and soul into a game, but you have your CEOs or whatever, bolstering it up, talking about it being the best thing ever so that people invest, people buy, and then the lofty expectations are there, and they're like, damn, you didn't meet my expectation. It's like, well, shit, we're doing our best, but what can we do with the amount of time and the lack of resources that we're given?
Well, that and the average consumer doesn't think about the amount of time and effort that goes into creating a game.
Yeah.
No, they only see the end product.
Because at the end of the day, the industry shits them out left and right.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this one. Let me go play the 5 different others just like it. That's the only reason I actually have an opinion about FromSoft games being so fucking difficult. Is like they've made 6 games in a decade. Like if you want to harp on 6 games in a decade, like that's the wrong hill to die on.
It's the hill I'm gonna die.
How many Pokemon games have came out in a decade? I mean, they shit out like 2 a year.
One out. Yeah, they were trying to shit out 1 a year, and like.
And it's not just one because you have red and blue. You have.
It's
gold and silver.
The thing is, it's the same game with like a few changes, which is like minimal.
Yeah, but I, as an individual player, to get everything out of it, I have to buy 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but yeah.
Like if I'm an individual player and like I don't have another person who has the games, if I'm at home by myself, I have to have both games to get all the Pokemon.
You can do the global trading and stuff to basically accommodate yourself, but it is a pain in the ass and a slow grind to do that. So there's a possibility to do it with just one, but I agree with you. Like, if you want the full game experience and you don't want to deal with people who are online, or you don't want to buy Nintendo Switch Online, yeah, you need both copies. And sadly, 2 Switches. Or 2 Game Boys.
Jesus fuck, man. Like, I like Pokemon. I fucking hate how the games are. I really do. Like,
same. I love Pokemon.
I mean, to be fair, I don't really like the cartoon either, so I don't know what part of Pokemon I really like.
The characters.
The card game is. Yeah, I like the Pokemon.
Card games just what it is.
It's solitaire.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is fine overall, because its target audience is like, again, kids.
But that's why I say like the idea of ROM hacks or implementing a Nuzlocke sucks, but like you can do it and it still can be fun because it is a challenge you can overcome. I like the idea of ROM hacks better, where people take the assets and basically make an entire new game out of it. And that's where it's cool. That's where you're getting your peak Pokemon if you want like a good Pokemon experience that's A, difficult, or B, enjoyable, just to like have some breath of fresh air, where it's not just like mindlessly grab my dude, pump his ass up to God knows what, and just be like, click the attack move. Okay, I got through the story.
Yeah, I mean, like, the problem that Pokemon ultimately suffers from is that at the end of the day, it is a puzzle game. Because mechanically, it's walk in the grass, catch Pokemon, walk to a guy. It's turn-based. There's not really a way for like you as a character to be like, my Pokemon now gets 2 turns in a row because I pressed a button sequence right. Like, you can confuse an opponent's Pokemon, but again, that's part of the puzzle.
The closest thing is like, my water beats your fire. Cool, I use that one then. And that's like it in the base games. But like when you do stuff like the ROM hacks, you have stuff like, well, what am I going to train with? Because if I go and I kill, like say in the first area, if I go and I kill a bunch of Zigzagoons, well, that's going to boost my attack, because when you kill them, you get an extra point in your attack when you level up next type of every 4, you get an extra attack boost with the EVs or whatever. But if I kill Pidgeys, I get speed. Well, what's more important for me is doing the speed. That's where it becomes super interesting and super detailed. But like, that's where it hits a different level of like, do you really want to get into that? Because you can, and that's
and is Game Freak going to do like, that? And is Game Freak going to implement that? No.
Well, I mean, it's implemented in the game. The mechanics are there. That's why ROM hacking makes it more prevalent and more important to be like, well, okay, well, how do I do this? That's where the enjoyment comes in, is like, I've taken your assets, I've taken everything about your game that is base, and I've just made it harder by just deciding AI is better. AI makes better moves. AI just has better teams. AI is ready and willing to do.
Right. What I'm saying is that like Game Freak doesn't make that like a core component of their game.
Yeah, they don't make the game around that. They just make it that's Water Gym. That's Fire Gym. That's you catch Pokemon you like and they work. And that's it. And that's fun. That's fine if that's what they want to do. But
I mean, like Game Freak could do that and implement a new game plus, and then that's where your min-maxing comes into play. Exactly. The problem is that like that doesn't solve the problem for most people who think Pokemon is too easy, because like you're not going to get somebody to play a Pokemon game all the way through, think that was season, and be like, well, yeah, but now we have it New Game Plus. And they're like, I played the game and...
If I remember correctly, I can't remember if it's Black and White or Black 2, White 2, where they had it when you beat the game, there actually was a difficulty increase thing where it actually made the AI harder. And I think that's the closest Game Freak's ever been to that. But again, you had to beat the game to play that. So after you played the easy game, do you really just want to play the exact same game over?
And see, I mean, to be fair, like PlayStation 2 has a lot of games that were like that. Like you had to play on normal to unlock hard, and I was like,
wasn't that
really?
Halo 2?
No.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like Legendary was behind like play on hard. Or what is it, Heroic?
Cody, that's a you question, actually.
What?
Legendary was a base difficulty in Halos, right? In all of them.
Yep.
Okay.
No, but I mean, there have been games where it was like beat it on normal to get hard, and it's like,
sure.
I'd rather just play through your story one time on the hardest difficulty and be done with it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like,
difficulty shouldn't be like a bonus. It shouldn't be like I want your story, but I also want to play it on a hard difficulty.
Well, the problem is, the problem I have with that is like, how many games do you truly play again?
Don't ask me.
I mean, like, that was the other...
All of them.
That list isn't super long is what I'm saying. Like, there are the games out there that you do, and I know you like to speedrun, but most people are not playing campaigns 4 times.
Well, and like, there are games on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2 that did that, and then when you played through the second time, you got a different ending. And it was like, I spent 30 hours to get a different ending when I should have just spent 30 hours the first time.
The one
that's my problem is that like outside of scaling difficulty, you have to make fights mechanically different for each difficulty. And I'm not about that. Like, no, let's just not do that. Because here's the thing, like I would rather have the same fight on 3 different difficulties and it be an artificial slider than for easy to have 1 mechanic, normal to have 2, and hard to have 3. Because the thing is that like it's much easier for a person to get better at one singular fight than for person A to struggle on easy, but then get the fights and then be like, oh, I want to do normal now. Oh no, there's a second mechanic on each fight that I have to learn. And like if you're gonna do shit like that, the thing that comes with that is gonna be changes in story, and let's not do that.
Yeah.
Part of game difficulty that I always hated was, as a kid, you could play a game, right? And then like you unlock either the boss to play as or the weapon that they use. And it's like a complete shit. Who is calling me? Shut up.
Oh, you're talking like Devil May Cry was notorious for that.
Yeah. Like you're like, here's this guy, when you fight him, he's gonna be so difficult, or the weapon he uses is gonna be so good, then you get it. And it's like throwing a Q-tip. Mega
Man's notorious for that. Like there are like you get 8 weapons from bosses and like 6 of them suck.
Yeah, but when the boss uses it, it's the best weapon ever, and you're like, this is gonna be great to use. And then you get it, it's like literally a bubble gun.
Yeah. I don't know. I think overall there's some line in between there, and we're so in a mismatch of like what's right. I don't even know if a game has ever had like the perfect like I play a game and I feel fulfilled type of difficulty to it. Like even when we play games that I have loved recently that have the difficulty stuff, like Resident Evil and such, you know, I'm never like, oh, I had like a great time and learned. Kingdom Hearts is another one that comes to mind that I've played recently where I know you guys were like, you guys should play on like normal or easy. And then we did one of them on proud. And the fact that I played through and beat it on proud, I didn't feel rewarded. I was exhausted by that point with shit like the Roxas fight where I'm sitting there beating my head against the table and being like, I just don't get it. I'm like the same way as Hack where like, I just know certain games like the FromSoft games are just not for me. So I just won't play them. But like when I played a game that had like a difficulty that was supposed to be challenging and I just banged my head against the wall, I didn't feel like some sense of like, oh, I did it. Great. I did something great. I'm always just like, fuck, man, that was like annoying for no reason.
Yeah, I like difficulty differently, right? So like we brought this up a couple times, and I'm not saying this game is difficult by any means. Like it's not From Software difficult or like Dark Souls. It's not that kind of difficult. But like I like a game that's mental. I don't want to say mentally, but like I guess more skill based in the sense of like I really like World of Warships because you can get in and anybody can play it and anybody can just click the trigger and fight it, right? But to be truly good at that game, you actually have to be. It takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of time.
Well, that's
I do like
easy.
That's
I do
every
like that.
PvP game now.
Yeah, I do like that kind of difficulty. I don't like the difficulty of just being difficult just to be difficult.
I mean,
that's
that's everything PvP though. Like you're facing other people. That's the problem.
Yeah.
There's no. It feels like there's no great AI-based difficulty yet.
You think we'll ever get to a place like in Ready Player One where you wear a suit and you like your body's affected by getting shot in a game?
Nowhere near their timeline. Their timeline was what, like 10, 12 years from now?
Yeah, I don't want, but I'm saying, do you think we'll ever get there?
No, was it 2030s?
Something like, I don't know, something like that. But can you imagine like you wear a suit and like you get shot and it like gives you a little zap, like zzz, ah?
I mean, there are already vests that do that.
Imagine playing Dark Souls with that thing on. Get your head chopped off.
The problem is that like making that, like, it's all about production cost.
Oh yeah.
It's all about being able to mass produce it, being in, more importantly, with the internet, being able to host it, and like we're just not there.
It's the same reason that VR has not taken off. Like honestly, truly, VR requires very good hardware, and you have to have major user base buy-in, and it's just not there. Will it get there one day? Probably, but like you've had an Oculus. Do you still have an Oculus?
I mean, I think VR is probably just going to be a generational change. Like our generation likes sitting in a chair or on a couch and playing with a controller, looking at a screen. Do I think the next generation will be the driving force behind VR? Of course, like they're going to grow up with it.
I think once VR can get to the point where it's like 8K, super, super high detail, where the headset does everything and you don't have to be connected to anything, then VR has a solid chance of becoming mainstream. But it also has to have a good cost. It can't cost $800 for that experience because moms and dads are not going to buy that.
You're already asking for something that's not going to happen probably this decade.
So that's what I mean.
Like 8K probably won't be mainstream for 5 more years at least.
I think I want to hold y'all mainstream now. Hey, I want to hold y'all on that because we have a good discussion for next podcast that we talked about. With our
are you already trying to leave?
No, I just want to keep that part of the discussion for when we talk about like accessibility in games next week. Oh. And I think that's a really good portion of the discussion. That I thought
this is where you're about to tell us you have a pizza in the oven.
No, I've had a
there's a pizza in the oven. It just has to come out.
Yeah. But I think that's great for what we want to talk about, which is next week, which is our talking like, again, I think it's a really good one, but Eric was telling us that we should probably wait for next week, and I'm down to do that. But we want to talk about our the limiting factors currently in our gaming, whether that's money, product.
Oh yes.
I mean, the factor's money. That's what it comes down to.
Of course, money. If I had more money, I'd have a way better computer than I do, and I have a good computer.
Well, I'm saying also there's some of it that like is not, even if you had the money, it's like not reasonably accessible.
No, I'm not buying we'll save it until next week.
Yeah, that's my thought process. But we'll talk about that next week.
You're gonna save it after somebody else joins in.
Exactly.
Don't you?
Oh, it's scale. It's fine.
It's called teasing. It's called a little teaser for the boys.
Who?
And Gale.
Who are these boys?
Jeez, us.
So did you guys play anything last week? We didn't even talk about.
I did.
Yeah. So
we might as well talk about last week into this week, and that's the ending.
Wow. You said rude. Childish. You're not doing the arm thing when you do that, and it's ruining it.
No, I'd never do the arm thing. I think that's more cringe than just saying sheesh.
He's
You're
a
a 30-year-old saying sheesh. It is already cringe.
I'm not 30 yet. I'm not.
He's a millennial doing Zoomer things. It is cringe.
It's so cringe.
Am I a millennial?
Yes.
Is 91 millennial?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I don't know if
Yes, you are very much a millennial.
care.
That seems to change from year to year, by the way.
It does. That's what I'm saying. I don't fucking know or care.
The general definition of a millennial is someone who come of age at the spawn of the internet. So, did you have the internet when you were in high
Okay.
school? You're a millennial,
I had
probably.
it when I was in fucking.
Was it
middle
relatively
school,
new? Yes. Those of us who had DSL and 56K.
I was there for that. I've talked about it before on stream when me and my brother, while my parents were out on a date and my grandma's watching us, were playing RuneScape on our dial-up internet. And when my parents got home, they tried to call us a million times while we're on the dial-up. We're fucking livid at us.
Yes. Yes, that's
81 to 96 is a millennial.
there you go.
81 to 90.
96.
81 to 96. Okay, you're millennials too. Shut the fuck up.
We know. We're not
Then
denying
don't
it.
fucking call me a millennial with such fucking vitriol and
We're
anger.
not in denial like you.
We're just telling you welcome to the club.
Yeah. I'm accepting a millennial. I'd rather be a millennial than a Gen Z.
I mean, like, you could just listen to the turn of the century music.
Yeah.
Fair.
You know?
Or you could listen
yeah.
to what Zoomers listen to and, like, not understand a word of mumble rap. Is that what you sound like on your personal best, by the way?
No.
No, I fucking popped the fuck off, dude. I had been doing it on the treadmill, and like the best run I had gotten was a 21:07. And it was around 21 to 22s is what I was getting, and I was like, I'm never gonna get my actual PB while not on a treadmill was 1949. And then today, when I went into the last Bowser set, where you had to make the 3 throws and then you win, I was like, damn, this could actually be a PB if I'm perfect on my throws, which I was. And I popped the fuck off because according to our treadmill PB, I had a PB by like over a minute.
Dude, why do you keep talking about peanut butter?
No, okay. Now you're making me say. Okay, so I stole this joke from that Pokemon Challenges who was sitting there, and he was like, I got one for you. He's like, so I'm a sandwich shop. What am
Your
I
joke
if I'm a
sucks so
sandwich
far.
shop and I'm all out of jelly?
It's okay. He's going to do the
I'm
rich guy
serving
laugh
you
at the end.
PBs all day.
God damn it.
Jeez.
Here, I got a good joke for you. Good dad joke for you.
Run it.
If we're millennials, what generation is Forrest Gump in?
Jenny's.
Gen A.
Jenny. There we go. I was like, fucking something with that. I saw the line.
Ryan laughs. Eric just. I got
Shut
more.
the fuck up. This motherfucker makes more dad jokes than I've ever fucking seen. And he's gonna sit here with some smug ass look like, how dare you?
Yeah, I got more.
I mean, that was bad.
What? That's a great joke. See, Gail says it's good. That's a good one. That's
yeah.
Right. Gen A.
Jenny.
Pretty terrible.
You're terrible.
I am terrible. Like, I'm willing to admit it.
Gosh. So aggressive.
I'm terribly good at games. That's why I don't want the difficulties decreased.
Oh my
There it
gosh.
is. There it is.
You walked
one
right
can-
into it.
No one can verify these great games because he only plays the single player ones.
I mean, I play them on Steam or Xbox. Like,
Every time Ryan starts to talk, we just keep talking.
I'm trying to get back into the conversation, but y'all just ragging on each other and dad jokes, and it's so funny. I was supposed to be the arbiter of like what we're talking about on this podcast. But
well, you know, in
I have
Halo
a
2, the
terrible
Arbiter
time
does get
doing it.
tortured quite a bit. So you are.
True.
That's so true.
True.
I mean, I'm the only one who lives here, so I guess that makes me one of the brutes. And Cody is the old guy in the wheelchair because he can't run.
Coming from the guy with bad hip.
I can run. You can't run. So I don't know where the comparison is here.
Yeah, but you can't do stuff with your hip.
I mean, what do you do with your hip?
I don't know. Ladies?
I mean, I do plenty of ladies.
Alrighty. Well, last week.
I mean, you notice that when I'm with your mom, it doesn't record it as an exercise because my heart rate doesn't get up enough.
Look at Ryan. He's just like, ah. He's died.
I mean, so like, anyways, I played Returnal over the weekend, and then I'm almost done with Nier Replicant. That's what I did last week.
How was
Cody, you
Returnal
probably
for you?
played like Warships, and he played It Takes Two by himself.
Nope, I didn't play It Takes Two. I played Warships and I played PGA 2K11. Or 2K21, sorry, 2K21.
The only way he gets balls and holes. Oh, wait. There's his favorite, skee ball.
Yeah. No, that's what the 2 games I played. I'm getting back into Warships just because, why not? There's no good games out right now that anyone wants to play with me, so I'm just going to play with myself.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mine, strictly Mario on the treadmill, and I've also played a fucking good amount of Hearthstone Battlegrounds.
Hey, Ryan,
which
while you're talking about games that you played, why don't you play more Sea of Thieves?
I hate it. I legit hate it. I do not like Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
At all.
Gil, It Takes Two to play It Takes Two, and one of us doesn't want to play It Takes Two.
Yeah, guess which one it is. It's not me.
Cody's like, hey, do you want to play It Takes Two? And I'm like, no thanks, I'd rather farm for weapons.
He doesn't even have to buy it. That's the beauty of it, is that EA will let you just let a friend play it with you for free.
That's actually sick.
I'm telling you right now, here's how much against EA I am. If I read that the Mass Effect trilogy has not fixed the ending, I don't know if I'll buy it.
I hope Mass Effect comes out. And
I know you're gonna have to buy it through Origin, and that's what's shitty.
I hope that when Mass Effect comes out, it gives you a free key to Anthem, and you have to play 50 hours of Anthem before you can play Mass Effect.
Like unlocking the difficulty. You have to play Anthem.
You must play our old game.
Play our fucking
we must
game.
play it. Our great game, because we're BioWare and we only make good stuff.
So what you guys doing this week?
Playing Warships and probably waiting for someone to play It Takes Two with me.
RE8.
Yes, it's gonna be it's gonna be the same status next week. What'd you do last week? Well, Eric didn't want to play It Takes Two with me, so I played a lot of Warships and PGA this week.
Hey Ryan, do you want to play some golf with friends this week? On a stream?
Maybe.
I mean, I'm not gonna play RE8, but I'm gonna watch it.
Funny enough, I've been putting it off because I don't know how great this is gonna be, but I've got to do my taxes and I've got to figure out Twitch taxes now.
You haven't done your taxes?
It's May. Weren't they doing like April 15th?
No, they pushed it back into May.
It's not that hard to do your taxes. Amazon's going to send you a thing. They sent me one this year.
Did they? I don't think they sent me one.
How much income did you make?
You have to download it.
Over
but it's
$600.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Okay, you made so you have to, but like Cody's case, the 70 that he made doesn't have to be reported.
First of all, I didn't make 600, but I did make just under that. Have you know?
Yeah.
But all you do is count it as income from outside sources, and then you type that employer's information in. That's it.
Oh, really? Like it's not like another.
It's literally
second
literally that easy. You add a second. It's like a second job.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't it like a 1099-C or something?
Yeah, it's super easy. You're just adding it to your income, saying it'll ask you, did you have any income outside these sources? Yes. Who is it from? This person. How much was it? This much. Oh, we've determined that you owe $200 or $100 of that in tax. We'll take it out of your total return.
So I just I made like over $600
city and local school district tax.
Yeah, like you gotta think, man, for $600, it's gonna be under $100.
Like a hundo. Well, so do I literally put like over $600 from Daddy Bezos with heart with love?
You're gonna get a 1099, and you're just gonna fill that in.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. I did it on my taxes this year, and it didn't even change them.
I'm just putting it off. Taylor did theirs on fucking when was it? Fucking Saturday when I was doing family shit for Mother's Day.
That's true. We should play Monopoly.
Monopoly would be Poggies.
We should do Monopoly again.
So I know this week, Wednesday, I'm doing that. Tuesday, we're doing one of the last two Sea of Thieves things. Anyway. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect.
Eric, can you do Monopoly?
I'll tell you what. If you get 4 people to play Monopoly, I'll hang in the Discord.
You won't play?
It's Monopoly, man. Like the two of you, Gail and Evan, make 4.
We're trying to,
good to know, Gail.
Trying to have a
doesn't
bonding
Evan
moment.
have a crown to defend or something?
I don't think I haven't even talked to Evan in months.
He was in the stream like 2 weeks ago.
That's not me talking to him. That's him showing up in the stream.
You could have talked to him in the stream.
I could have, but that's a lot of work on my part.
You're a bad
talking
friend.
talking to your chat and stuff.
You're a bad former supervisor, man. Let me go console him for you.
Okay, do it. While you're there, you can get the other one that I failed on too.
Oh no, he's not here anymore. Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know.
Isn't he like gone? I don't know. He's on something half the time.
Literally 0 contact. So, I was thinking about coming to visit you guys.
Please do. I want to play board games with y'all.
Courtney's coming up there. Courtney's coming up there on the 20th
of May.
She'll be in town from the 20th of May till the 24th.
Okay.
She's going to a bachelorette party up there. I almost came with her, but the freaking flights are so expensive right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
I guess because everybody's geting vaxxed.
If I wanted to fly Delta with her, it would be $800. If I wanted to fly American alone, I could get it for $500.
Well, you could drive up dial, make a stop for beer, and just drive the rest of the way.
Yeah, I could drive 12 hours. Yep, I could do that as well.
I've done.
I mean, ask Gail. We drove 11 for beer, so.
I mean, I'm not saying.
Where's your dedication to your friends?
Wow.
Or beer.
Wow. I could drive, but I don't really want to drive because that's 12 hours one direction, stay for 5 days, 12 hours back the other direction. But I do need to put miles on my Jeep, so that's still an option.
I would love to see you. I know that much.
You got free rent while you're here. That's easy.
Who am I going to stay with? You charged me rent last time I stayed with you.
That's why I said it. You got free rent this time.
Like, who are you talking about? He just shut his camera off. He's like, shit.
I said you got free rent this time while you're here.
Who are you talking about? Goddamn, sent me an electricity bill.
We were talking with one of our other streamer friends.
Thermostat was down 2 degrees. What do you think? That's free? Shit doesn't grow on a tree.
We were talking to one of our streamer friends who's thinking about moving out to Ohio. And I was like,
don't do it.
We would love to have you stay with us, but we have literally no room. So it's the same thing to you, Hack. Unless you want to cuddle in bed with me, Taylor, Cinder, and Howie, like, there's like no room.
Oh, you bring the dog, it's free.
Oh, I would have to bring Sadie if I drove.
Then the conditions met. I don't know.
Look at that. That's free.
Non-conditional statement of Sadie is that she has to go everywhere with me.
Non-conditional. How? So have you driven with a dog before on like long car trips?
Yeah.
How often do you have to pull over for them to go potty? Never.
Sadie will get out and go to the bathroom when I stop for gas.
Yeah. Okay. So like when you do the gas, you're just like, okay, well you.
Well, this dog is like once every 3 hours or something.
This is the trick, dude. People be sleeping on it. Give your dog Dramamine. You can give dogs Dramamine. The nausea pill that makes you sleepy. That you can buy in every gas station in the country. Do you think it makes your fat ass fucking sleepy? It makes my fat ass sleepy. Imagine what it does to a 30-pound dog.
I'm 248 pounds. You don't fucking call me fat anymore.
I'm not talking directly at you, Ryan. I'm saying like as general humans. Like people, like it's completely safe to give your dog Dramamine. That shit knocks her out. She's drugged for 12 hours on that stuff. She's done. She sits in the back like a...
takes offense to you calling everybody else fat ass.
This is my dog in the back.
That's also 9 out of 10 hours of Cody at work.
Yeah. And then I wake her up. I wake her up and I'm like, you want to go out? You want to go walk around? She walks around, goes to pee, gets right back into her bed, falls right back asleep.
Nice.
That's the trick, man.
Liz travels with her dog all the time, and yeah,
it's hard.
If your dog's trained, it's very easy.
Yeah. I just fold the seats down in the back of the Jeep. She passes out.
Somebody's dog's not trained that well.
Yeah, I know someone that's got a shitty dog too. Always laying in the middle of streams, fucking farting on stream.
Cinder has never fucking farted on streams. How dare?
Oh, it was you. So it was you. You blamed your dog, and it was actually you.
Shit.
There was a bullfrog in the room.
Bro, I can't believe how much shit those two have been through.
A lot of shit.
I can't believe it.
Every morning.
It's
like
rough.
I said, our potty cycles are synced.
It's terrible.
So let's go ahead and guess now, because two of us are playing it this weekend, and I don't know a fucking thing about the game.
What, Resident Evil? It's gonna be terrible.
I'm gonna guess. I'm probably gonna give it maybe a 7.
I would give it, I'm going to guess about an 8. I've really liked the RE engine. I've seen 9 hours, I think is what you sent. So expecting about like 11 for us to like get through it comfortably with my shitting my pants, having to change my diaper like every 2 hours. What would you say?
I think I'm going to give it a solid 0. Because I don't like Resident Evil games very much, so that's my vote. I'll be the hater in the group.
Fine. The hater.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
You can't. That's my line. That's
Step
my line.
on me, mommy.
So I mean, like, I know that two of us have seen the original trailer. Like, Cody, did you watch the original trailer when it came out?
I don't have an interest in Resident Evil. It's
so
like
that's a no.
It's in the same category. It's in the same category as like your devil, or not your Devil May Cry, your Demon Souls and stuff. I just don't pay attention to it because I just don't enjoy this kind of games.
Coming up with topics for a video game podcast is hard, because when Resident Evil Day is like 2 weeks ago, we can't talk about Resident Evil Day because only one of us has watched Resident Evil Day.
I literally don't care if you spoil it for me, because I don't care. That's the kick it ticket.
I am gonna guess Vampire Lady is in less than half of the game.
Probably.
Do you think it'll be like the dad in Biohazard, where like that was the big selling point, but he was only in like the first quarter of the game?
Vampire Lady.
And
I'm literally gonna guess she's probably not even, like, when I say half of the game, I think it's probably more like 30%. I think she's just a selling factor to get you in the door.
Yeah. Resident Evil Vampire Lady. What's so special about this lady?
She's like
7'11" or some shit.
I don't know.
She's like the boss of it or something. She like chases. Is it just like the other game where they just slowly chase you around the map?
No, she's a tall vampire lady, dude, and the internet's simping. Like, I don't.
And she's got like a gigantic claw.
They're simply infatuated with her because she's a tall lady with a claw or something. Like,
Resident Evil.
She's got booba.
Resident Evil Village wiki. I won't ruin it for you, but I don't care to ruin it for myself. So.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Chris Redfield's not actually a bad guy, and that Chris Redfield doesn't die.
Nice.
Because those are 2 trips that Chris Redfield has already done. So why not?
I'm excited. I think it's gonna be
Chris's whole thing is that everybody around him dies, but he doesn't die. So this is kind of an odd one for him to die at.
Yeah.
8's just an odd number. I don't think you bring him back in 7 to kill him.
8
in 8.
Eric, 8 is an even number. I've checked the math on that.
God, this freaking wiki is so long. This story must be super long.
The Resident Evil story?
For this game, yeah.
I mean,
like I had to scroll like 4 times to get to the bottom of the page.
There's a lot to tell. It just depends on the pacing, really. Like, you can't front load this story and then be bored for 2 hours. You lose too many people.
Huh.
I mean, but the Resident Evil story, like every Resident Evil game, has plenty of story in it. It's all interconnected lore.
Who did you say you don't think dies?
Chris.
Redfield.
He's been in, I think, quite a few of them. 1, he was mentioned in 2, he was mentioned in 3. He was the main in Code Veronica. He was mentioned in 4. He was the main character in 5, 6, and he was in 7. And how he's either mentioned or in most of the spinoffs too. Like, Resident Evil is the Chris Redfield story.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to pin a main character, like, it sucks because, like, Leon's a really good character, but Leon's been in 2 games.
I don't know who these characters are their problems. Who is this person?
So that's the other thing is that, like, there is a time jump in this game.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, like, 6 to 7 had a time jump, and 7 to 8 has another time jump because Ethan and Mia have a baby, and they weren't even married at the end of 7.
See, that's who I was asking about. I was just researching who Ethan was because I didn't know who he was.
He's a new protagonist that started in 7. 7 is so many years after 6 because 6 just kind of ended weirdly. Thank you.
Yeah,
EA.
it says that this one takes place in February of this year. So that's your time jump. Like a couple years. I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'm not that kind of friend.
And I think it's in Europe this time around.
I don't know. I'm quickly scanning through the story of it.
Nice.
Doesn't seem like my kind of game.
Well, while you go through the story, anything else we want to end off with? Anything else you guys are interested in?
Mass Effect comes out this weekend, but some of us don't get to play it release weekend.
Why?
Because some of us didn't get to play Resident Evil 8 release weekend.
Why?
Because somebody with a bowl cut had to help his mommy.
Fucking pumpkin pie haircutted freak.
Bowl cut.
Looking like Jim Carrey up here off Dumb and Dumber. Looking like a poor man's Zach Galifianakis.
I'm sorry I don't want to put some fucking product in my goddamn hair.
That is literally who you could pull off. You could be Zach Galifianakis.
My hair is literally like, it's shaved here, it's just all on top. I need to trim it. I need to trim up my hair a bit.
Have you ever thought about just growing a mullet?
Kind of.
I mean, it's fine because I think Returnal is probably a better game than Resident Evil 8, and I played that this weekend, so...
Yeah. I mean, I hope the best for you with Mass Effect, man. I know you really like that series.
I mean, the thing is that, like, there is a Mass Effect 4 on the horizon, so you have to end the trilogy on a definitive note.
And will they?
That's the question. Like, nobody knows because even reviewers haven't gotten their copies yet.
Right.
I mean, like, it doesn't make sense because that's the problem with 3 is that, like, 3 gave you the choice of 3 endings and then was like, oh, you know, fairy tale ending, wake up from the dream. But the fact that there is a 4th game now, and to be fair, like, when they finished 3, they didn't intend on making a number 4.
Yeah.
Now that there is a number 4, and in the teaser trailer, there are definitive parts of endings from the ending of 3. Like, there has to be a definitive ending to the trilogy. Which means that, like, the way that 3 will play out is kind of like how Final Fantasy 13 did. Like, you'll probably start from your points in 2, but they'll all intersect, and at a certain point, the game becomes linear.
Yeah.
Might be some small differences based on your choices, but there should be a definitive ending.
Should be.
I can't imagine that, like, I can't imagine you would just do a straight remaster. Like, in terms of controversial endings to a game, Mass Effect 3 is probably on top of the list.
Yeah.
But it's BioWare.
I can't think of another game that, like, its ending was just, like, so bad that it shat on a trilogy. On a trilogy.
Let me think here.
I mean, Cody, the only trilogies you play are Grand Theft Autos, and they just don't have good endings.
Well, I play a lot of trilogies. First of all, there's been more than 3 Grand Theft Autos.
I didn't know there were more than 3 Candy Crushes.
Yeah, like Halo, Call of Duty.
I mean, to be fair, Halo 3 was the worst of the three in my opinion.
Tomb Raider, that's a good one. Thanks, Gail. Appreciate you.
Tomb Raider just got worse as it went along.
Mass Effect comes to mind because it's EA, and it's just fun to pick on EA. And since BioWare's under EA, I like to pick on them.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. BioWare was a really great company, and then they got bought out by EA.
Yep. So was Westwood. So was like everyone else that they bought.
It's just hard to like objectively say that statement because they got bought out by EA and then made Inquisition, which was Game of the Year.
Yeah, but was Inquisition already in the works before they went to EA?
Inquisition was the first game on Frost Engine.
Oh, then yeah, I don't know. Maybe EA was being nice.
Maybe EA was being nice.
I don't know.
I mean, like, if EA turns the corner, which they seem to be doing, like they're publicly saying it. If EA turns the corner and they let these companies do what they're supposed to do, then EA is going to be making a lot of bank in the 2020s.
But they won't.
I mean, they did with Respawn, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is like one of the most successful Star Wars games.
One game.
Ellie thinks it's one.
They didn't do good with Madden or FIFA or Star Wars what's it called?
Battlefront.
That's the one. Battlefront 2.
Number 2. That was before Fallen Order.
They didn't. Let's see what other EA games have come out recently that have been bad.
And that's also their internal studio.
EA game releases. Let's see here. Latest games.
The thing is that like EA can do whatever they want with their own studio. It's the sub studios that need to have free control.
Their most recent ones are It Takes Two, Knockout City, which I don't know what that is.
To be fair, It Takes Two is like one of the hotter games.
Yeah, and then Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Isn't that made by EA, not one of their subs?
It's made by the same it's made by one of their subs. It's what's their call? What the hell is their company called? Code Breakers or something like that.
Yeah, but like
Citron. That's it.
Every
Citron.
studio had to give up something to go help with them, right?
Yeah, Citron makes them.
That's
Gosh, they haven't released a lot of games, honestly. Like, so they released FIFA 2020, Plants and Zombies, Need for Speed Heat, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Command & Conquer Remastered, Rocket Arena, UFC 4, Madden 21, Squadrons, FIFA 21, NHL 21, new Need for Speed again, a Medal of Honor game that looks like it's mobile, It Takes Two, and then Knockout City.
Well, I mean, they're not really getting competition from anybody in the sports arena.
Yeah.
Other than 2K.
2K.
And to be fair, like 2K, the last few basketball releases have been worse than EA's FIFA releases. Not only that, but basketball doesn't have a worldwide following like FIFA does.
Ooh.
If you want bad EA games, look no further than Madden. Madden is the worst game.
Yeah, they're so and
that
FIFA
EA puts out.
It's the
FIFA's
same game.
very bad too, but I think Madden's worse because the one thing that people like about FIFA is Ultimate Team. They know they're buying into their cards. Madden, one of the best features that Madden and NCAA have had is literally their franchise dynasty or whatever, where you take a team and you're the team and you play years and years in advance. They have done basically no additions to that for over 5 years. And it's beyond infuriating.
I just became frustrated with this, looking at this list of future games. Their future games include Mass Effect, Knockout City, which I already talked about.
Yep.
Lost in Random, which I don't understand. And then just found out July 16th, 2021, EA got the official license for F1. So they're going to make a racing game that's like supposed to be really precise. Why didn't you just hire people who make Forza? Like, EA's gonna fuck that up so bad.
Because the people who would make Forza would make it a Microsoft exclusive.
Just pick anybody else that's not EA. And then, Ryan, but more bad news, they're making a PGA Tour game. Damn it.
Is that the next version
that's
of
the thing, though. Like who's going to compete against EA making a sports game?
2K.
And 2K hasn't been shitting out good titles either.
I mean, their golf game's pretty good, but it's not going to be. EA's probably going to pay to have all of the major golfers in PGA Tour.
I mean, NBA 2K hasn't been that good the past couple of years. WWE has been terrible the last decade plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Like what has 2K done that's been good? It's golf. Didn't 2K used to do NFL as well? Like back in the Dreamcast days?
Way
very back in the day.
Way back.
See, I mean, like what you need for a sports game is not another competition, like an NFL type game. You need a blitz to come back.
NFL blitz.
You know what's really sad, Ryan? In the announced trailer for this game, they don't even show gameplay, and it comes out in 2 months.
That's how surprised.
That little effect. This game's gonna be terrible. F1 on EA is gonna be awful.
I'm gonna laugh if it gets like 9.5s across the board.
It's gonna be so bad. Let me see this. F1 game, July 2021. So not looking forward to that.
Well, the good news is if you don't like it, you don't have to play it.
Sure.
Wasn't that the concept of our whole discussion? There's thousands of games out there, and if you don't like it, you don't have to play it.
Yeah, apparently, actually, EA's been making the F1 games for a really long time, so I'm just behind on the road. I'm just behind on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they took over the F1 developer. Apparently, Codemasters was who was making it, and they took them over for $1.2 billion this year.
I know that development on part of the Anthem debacle was it was Need for Speed development. Like that game just fell so far behind that not only did BioWare get pulled away from it, other studios also got pulled away from it.
Because Codemasters also makes the Dirt series, so now, and Project Cars. So they actually the F1 game was made by a legitimate like racing company, and EA bought them.
No shocker to me
so
that EA's
EA
like, you're
EA
a property with success. I want.
Yeah, EA's gonna put its shitty Madden bullshit probably into it, and it's gonna be awful.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, do you want the car, the good car? Let's sell you a card pack.
Yeah, the microtransactions are what's killing a lot of sports.
Well, I mean, that's probably for its own discussion because microtransactions and DLC is a combined thing.
Yeah.
You guys want to call it?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm cool with that, Dad.
Okay. You gotta do your outro, bud.
I'm ready. I had a great time with y'all. I hope you had a great time with me.
Why are you calling me, Eric?
Because I'm calling it.
He just got off the fucking screen. It's done. He's done. Yeah, stupid face.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
UFC Wildcat. I want to thank my co-hosts, Balrose and Hack Attack.
Hack Attack.
We went an hour overtime today, bullshitting about nothing, and we're gonna do the same thing again next week. But we are gonna start 8 Central, 9 Eastern. So we're gonna run from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. We don't know what our topics are gonna be yet. We're just gonna write the scripts. We're gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna hop on my treadmill next Monday.
I'm gonna set a new peanut butter and jelly sandwich on Mario next week, you know. Speed running. He straight up left. Oh my god.
I realized I wasn't tabbed into the Discord, so it took me a second to get that better, but that felt good.
I hope you do get a new personal best next week.
Me too.
I would like another PB.
I'm just happy you're not playing Zelda anymore.
So, not intentionally trying to keep you on here, but what is your current speed and incline on the treadmill?
So I'm either running at a 2.0 or a 3, no incline yet. I wanted to get a sub 20 before I did that, and I didn't think I would get it so soon. So I'll probably start messing around with some other things. Probably stay at a 3 and try and get used to that, and then see where I go with that, because it's not terribly hard. I've done a few. I've posted clips on Twitter where I actually do some of the tricks while running on a 5 and actually completing the trick, so that's been fun too, to mix that in when I'm like, I'm not good today, I'm not feeling it, but let's do some meme shit.
Okay,
it's fun. Thank you everybody for joining us on the Gamer Side Quest podcast, and wherever you are, however you may be listening, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week at our new time, 9 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. CST.
Bye-bye.